Bonjour everyone and welcome back to my channel, The Waves of Your Soul. Today's reading, I wanted to do a message from Spirit, something quite quick, just focused around what you need to know at this specific moment in time. I'm going to keep it quite general so that it can speak to as many people as possible. This is going to be a timeless reading, but I did want to give it a little bit of a fantasy twist, just for something a little bit more fun and unique. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Marine. I'm a French tarot reader and a lover of everything tarot, oracle and self-empowerment related. So if you'd like to see any more of those things on your timeline, as well as videos around empowering guidance, pick a card readings, and content where I share tools that can help you on your spiritual journey, then make sure to hit that subscribe button because I upload every single week. So if you don't know how pick a card reading works, in front of you you're going to find 3 different choices. Today, like I said, I'm doing this reading with a little bit of a fantasy twist, so we're going to be using decks that do have a fantasy feel. All you need to do is intuitively decide which is the pile that is calling out to you the most, and this is where your message will be. So for choice number 1, pile number 1, you can choose intuitively this deck right here, and this one definitely has a storybook kind of feel. We're talking fairy tale, very much like children's book kind of story time feel, and this is the first choice you can choose for pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have this particular deck that is all about fantastic beings. So we have mermaids, elves, mages, we have trolls, we have werewolves, vampires. This one is all about fantastic beings, and this is what you can choose for pile number 2. Finally, for pile number 3, we have dragons. So this is all about dragon energy, all kind of dragons, fire dragons, water dragons, and this is kind of like definitely the vibe for my choice for number 3. So if this is the one that is resonating with you the most right now, then your message would be in pile number 3. If you've watched any of my readings, you also know I like to pull tarot cards on the go. We're going to be pulling oracle cards on the go and get intuitive channel messages just for you. But I always like to say with all of my readings that they are readings for the collective, so please use your intuition, use your inner knowing to take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Once you've decided which is the pile that is calling out to you the most, you will find in the description box below timestamps that will take you straight to your reading. For everyone else who needs a little bit more time to choose the pile that is for them, I'm gonna insert a very quick 30-second meditation video where you will still be able to see an image of the 3 pile. Take this 30-second meditation to release any tension that you might be holding onto your body, taking some deep breaths and connecting to the waves of your soul. For anyone else, I will see you in your reading starting now. Okay, my pile number 1. So if you chose pile number 1 or this particular deck right here, which I said was quite fairy tale, very much storybook kind of vibe, then this is going to be the reading for you. As I said in the introduction, today we're keeping it quite general. We're going to get a message from Spirit, just what you need to know, what you need to hear at this moment in time for your own highest good, my pile number 1. And so let's go. Let's find out what you need to hear, what you need to know, what's going on. Okay, we have the cloak and we have the bargain. So there is a hidden blessing somewhere in your life, my pile number 1. There is something here that is not seen to the naked eye, and yet that you need to do some uncovering, you need to do a little bit of a inner digging, like whether it's introspectively, kind of start to look at where the gold nuggets are in your life, potentially in your relationships, in your work, etc. There's some kind of an inner disguised blessing. We have the cloak card and we have the bargain card here. So cloak card for me very much resonates with this idea of a hidden blessing, a hidden gem that you need to uncover. But it also refers for me, in this sense, I'm getting some kind of a shadow work kind of vibe. So some of you need to do a little bit of introspection and discover what is hiding below the surface within yourself. If there's any triggers that you're having at this moment in time, my pile number one, maybe you need to really start figuring out what those triggers relate to. Either some healing you need to do, either some introspection you need to do. Some of you might benefit from doing some kind of journaling or some kind of therapy, even some kind of counseling, something like that, because there's some need here to go below the surface and to drop the cloak, to drop the kind of protection, the safety net that you've been putting around yourself that has been protecting you but is now stopping you from seeing the reality. With this bargain card right here, there's this idea of not everything that shines is gold, or not everything that glitters is gold. I can't remember the proper saying. You know, I'm French, so sometimes my English sayings get a little bit mixed up. But there's this idea here where, you know, you might get some agreements offered, you might get some contracts offered, you might be about to sign something, get a new job, get a new lease on a house, get a new flat, buy a new car. There's an idea here of not all that glitter is gold. Well, whatever the saying is, you get the gist. Go below the surface again, check the details of my pile number one, read the small prints, make sure that you're getting the best bargain for you and that there isn't like worm in the golden apple. That's the vibe I'm getting. So, you know, we have this bargain here, but there's a snake around here that's about to bite. So there's this idea here of making sure you're reading the small prints, making sure you're getting the best deal for yourself, making sure you're keeping a logic, keeping a rational mind. But there is still this idea of a hidden blessing. I'm still getting that sense. So for me, the hidden blessing is not so materialistic, but there's like a lesson here to be had. There's a level up, soul leveling up here to be had for my pile number one. There's an idea here that whatever happens, you are going to be learning something valuable. Let's see what else Spirit has to say to you today. My pile number two, my one, sorry, we have Woodsman, okay, and we also had the Crown, okay. So remember to not give your power away to others, my pile number one. Don't wait for the saviors, don't wait for, you know, if you think about the Woodsman in the Little Red Riding Hood, the Woodsman is the savior. He's the one that can protect Little Red Riding Hood and the grandmother from the wolf. But you do have the Crown card here letting you know that you need to make sure that you're not giving away your power. And remember that you don't need anyone else to save you. You're your own Woodsman. You're your own knight in shining armor. You're your own hero. There is nobody else that can save you in this lifetime but you. You have all the power, the tools, the knowledge, the self-worth, the empowerment that you need to go and get your crown, to go and build your empire, to go and live your best life, my pile number one, only if you stop giving your power away to people who do not deserve it. Some of you have been too easily giving away your power, too easily being lured by people who pretend that they have your best interest at heart when really they do not. Some people will be good at heart and will be genuine woodsmen, and some people will be the wolves. And it's up to you and your intuition to decipher who in your life is a wolf and who in your life is the woodsman. And regardless of who is who, remember that you own the crown. You're the queen or king of your own life, and you have the power necessary within you to, you know, make the changes you need, create the life that you desire, and you don't need to wait for anyone's permission to do that. Stop waiting for people's permission to live your best life. That's definitely something that's coming for my pile number one. I'll pull one last card. We have the Castle. Yes, so this is a time for building the life that you desire, my pile number one. It's a time right now of manifestation. Some of you are trying to find safety. Some of you are trying to find comfort. Some of you are trying to manifest your ideal home, your ideal place to live, your ideal place to work, your ideal dream life, and you're trying to build up the foundation to your life. And the universe, spirit is definitely encouraging you to do that, to build the roads that is, you know, put this every single rock, every single step that will allow you to create the castle of your dream, to create the life of your dream. Keep that in mind. If you're going through some turbulent waters and, you know, things don't necessarily come easy to you at this moment in time, remember that everything you're doing is for a higher purpose, a higher reason, for your own goals, for your own dream. Do not dilute your dreams is also a thing I'm hearing. Do not dilute your power. Do not buy the cheaper castle just because it's the first one that comes available. That's also something coming up with this, coming back to this bargain card right here. There's this idea of don't settle for anything less than you deserve, my pile number one. That's very much coming through. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna pull some tarot cards, see what else we can get for you, any kind of other messages. I'm using the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot because, you know, we said we were feeling the fantasy today, so I just thought I want to escape from the day-to-day world. The day-to-day world is becoming a bit too much at the moment, so let's escape and communicate with spirit, shall we? Okay, beautiful. We have the Tower, Ace of Needles, which is swords. We have the Knight of Presents and the Eight of Presents, which are our pentacles. Okay, so eight and nine of pentacles. Definitely someone, see, there's this idea of working towards your dream, building your future, creating the life that you deserve, not letting yourself be shaken about, be pulled away, be disturbed by the dreams you have. If people are selling you fantasy, people are selling you dreams, remember they will never be as good as the dreams that you create yourself. Have some logic, use your logic, use your common sense, keep grounding, my pile number one as well. There's this, with a lot of pentacle energy here, where we're being recommended for you to stay in your body, to keep grounded, to not get too much in the headspace, but coming back into yourself. With this, there's this idea also that hard work will pay off with this Eight of Presents and this Nine of Presents. Everything you're doing, everything you're learning, everything you're working towards, it will pay off to create your castle, to create your future, to create your dream job, to create your dream relationship or your dream body, whatever you're dreaming of right now, whatever you're working towards, it will pay off. But you need to not get, don't get off track just because things might not happen the way you want to. Don't get defeated if things seem to be slowing down. Don't get defeated if people seem to be not who they are saying they are. And remember to keep threading your reality. With this Ace of Needles here, that's what I'm getting, this idea of like you're co-creating with the universe. You are the co-manifester of your life. So remember that you have the power, like we said with this Crown card right here. Beautiful. Okay, let's pull some last cards from this little oracle deck. Any last message from your guides, from your higher self that they want you to know. Just keeping it short and sweet today, but we want to, you know, get some messages that can help you wherever you are. We have Marvel and we have Dawning. Beautiful. So with this Marvel and Dawning, so there's this, you are on the break, on the edge of a new era, my pile number one. There's don't defeat, don't despair, don't lose hope, because everything you're going through has been, everything you've been through and everything you're going through right now is meant to take you to this next step, is meant to take you to this new era. Look at this Dawning card. There's this idea of the sun rising, of a new path, a new soul cycle, a new life cycle. And with the Marvel card here, there's a strong emphasis on remember to stop and smell the roses, remember to stop and appreciate life, be grateful for everything you already have. Even though you're working towards your dreams, there's this idea of don't forget to be grateful for all the blessings you do already have. Make sure that you invite gratitude in your life, make sure that you marvel at everything that life already has given you, everything that is free around you, nature, the birds, the winds, the flowers, the ocean, the trees, animals, everything that is beautiful about nature, about the world, the sunset. You know, we take it for granted, but it is beautiful. And there's this idea at inviting marvel into your life so that you can invite gratitude and beauty and grace, and that will make your manifestations flow even more. The more you're grateful for things, the more you have things to be grateful for. Beautiful. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing for you, my pile number one. Message from Spirit. I hope it brought you guidance, empowerment, healing, and that I hope it can help you move forward and go live your best life. If you enjoyed this reading, please don't hesitate to give my video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow, especially if the reading resonated with you. It's a nice exchange of energy. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I upload every single week. I upload plenty of pick a card readings, intuitive guidance, channel messages, and all of that good stuff. And until my next video, as per usual, I am sending you lots and lots of good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So if you chose pile number 2, the number 2, or this particular fantastic being oracle right here, then this is going to be the reading for you. As I mentioned in the introduction, today we're just getting a quick message from spirit. So this is going to be a timeless reading around what you need to hear right now, what you need to know right now for your highest good, so that you can go and live your best life, so that you can empower yourself with some knowledge, some guidance from the universe right now to help you move forward whatever you're going through. So this is timeless. Whenever you're watching this, there should be something there for you. Okay, let's find out what spirit, what the universe, what your guides have wanting to tell you at this moment in time. My pile number 2. Let's find out what's coming through. So we have the seahorse, okay. We have Gumio, the fox with 9 tails. We have the sylphid, I don't know how you say it in English, but it's like a being linked with the air, with the wind. And finally we have the werewolf. Beautiful. So a lot of interesting energies right here. So let's start with the werewolf. The werewolf is coming through right now as a message to let you know that you are potentially hiding away a part of yourself right now. You're having some difficulty accepting some parts of yourself, some inner desires, some inner urges that are part of your personality, that are part of your being, potentially some shadow parts of yourself that you are repressing, that you're suppressing right now, that actually are wanting to come through. And the universe, your guide spirit, is letting you know that it is okay to let those more primitive, more animal, you know, more deep, raw inner parts of you come through if you use them as a way for inspiration, as a way for creativity. With the sylphid card here, it's linked to the element of air, to inspiration. It's almost like muse energy, this idea of getting inspiration, getting creative, receiving a flow of energy, a flow of ideas. So you maybe use whatever you're feeling, whatever you're repressing, if it's emotions, if it's passions, if it's desires, use that inner fire to give you inspiration, to give you ideas, to give you spontaneity, to overcome any challenges you might be going through. You have a lot of power right now. We have the seahorse card, which is, you know, in mythology, Greek mythology, it was said that Poseidon, the god of the ocean, his chariot was driven by seahorses. And so sometimes when, you know, when the waves are crashing really hard, when it's stormy and there's huge waves that crash against the rocks, etc. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but usually white foam sometimes looks like horses. Like, this is where it comes from, this myth. And so there's this idea here of a very strong inner power that comes from getting to know yourself deeply. There's also, you know, seahorses linked to the ocean. Water element is always linked to our emotion, especially in tarot with the Suit of Cups. There's this idea that the water element is linked with our emotions. Sometimes our emotions are flowing, sometimes they're frozen, sometimes they're overpouring. And so at this moment in time, my pile number 2, you have a lot of power to be gaining from getting really deep and learning how to get to know yourself deeply, going deep within your emotions, finding out what is going on in your really introspection. It's a time for introspection, it's a time for getting to know yourself deeply and for channeling that raw power. There's a lot of raw power here with those seahorse card and the werewolf card. This really linked to this idea of like this subconscious power, subconscious or shadow self kind of power that is dying to come through, but that you've been potentially suppressing, repressing, and that you need to let out, my pile number 2. You need to tap into that inner power, that inner creativity, inner passion, inner fire, inner Some of you, it could be like psychic gifts you've been afraid of, and you're having trouble accepting the fact that you do have, although I don't like to say the word gift because we're all gifted in some way or another, but some of you might have some kind of psychic abilities that are starting to come through that you're afraid of, and you're suppressing them, and they're like dying to come through, you know, and they're coming through in bursts that make it more scary than it should be. We also had the Gumio card here. So Gumio, you know, like I said, it's a fox with 9 tails. In Korean myth, it was a women that could turn into foxes, that could lure men. You know, it was this idea of like luring, it could turn into a beautiful woman to lure men to, like, you know, do what they wanted with. So Gumio is linked with both this idea of deceiving, of pretending to be someone you're not, of changing form, but also with the idea of changing form, of being like, how would you say that? I don't know, I've lost the exact word, but I know there is a word that you can use for someone who can transform, their shapeshifter, that's it. With this idea of shapeshifting, there's also this idea of being able to adapt to a lot of situation. So my pile number 2, maybe you need to realize that you're a lot more adaptable than you think you are. Some of you feel like you're stuck in this specific form of yourself, form of your life, but actually you definitely have the tools and the talent and everything you need within to become another version of yourself. There's nothing stopping you from evolving. You know, we're like Pokemons, we evolve all the time. So with this Gumio card here, you're being encouraged by spirit to do some shape-shifting, and shape-shifting doesn't necessarily mean cheating people and being different in terms of being a liar and putting a mask on. It's more about evolving internally. If you get to know your emotions deeply, if you get to know yourself deeply, if you tap into your inner power, if you listen to your intuition, your inspiration, you know, that very much like spontaneity, creativity I was talking about, there is strong opportunity for you to level up, to evolve, just like, you know, Pokemons, like I said, they evolve in different form. This is your time to evolve as well, my pile number 2. Beautiful. Okay, let's pull some tarot cards. Today I'm using the Nightmare Me for Christmas because I was feeling like the fantasy vibe. I wanted to, you know, escape from the day-to-day world, and so let's continue the fantasy feeling, see what else spirit, the universe wants you to know. My pile number 2, at this moment in time, we have the Knight of Swords. So the idea here of not letting your anxiety, your nightmares, your kind of like worst case scenario self-talk get the best of you. Everything that is scary right now in your head, everything that is threatening you, everything that is making you feel anxious potentially comes from personal fears, personal anxiety, personal projections. And yeah, we have the Hierophant as well. So there's this idea here of overcoming the projections that you put on the world. Potentially some of the triggers that you're having in your environment right now actually come from personal triggers. So this is why you need to get to learn your emotions. With the Hierophant, there's this idea of being, so this is what's coming through. You need to let yourself be surprised at how other people can be. Everyone can be a healer, everyone can be a teacher. This is what I got when I pulled this card. So sometimes people will surprise you. It can be something you hear on the street, a stranger that speaks to you and they say something very impactful. You can hear a conversation on the bus and that conversation really changes your mindset. The universe has very unique ways of communicating with us. It can be through songs, the lyrics just hit differently to you. It really speaks to your soul. Everyone can be a teacher, everyone can be a healer. So let yourself be surprised by ways the universe can communicate with you at this moment in time. My pile number 2, there's this idea of being open to hearing the message the universe has for you, wherever that may be, in the bus, through you know, on your way to work, when you're lying down and you're watching Netflix, like there's just a dialogue that hits different. It's conversation you have with your mom or your parent or your friend or your colleague, whatever it is. Be open to receiving messages that could hit deep at this moment in time, that could really help you evolve. Work back to this idea of evolving. We also have the 7 of Potions. 7 of Potions is letting me know you might be faced with this bit of like like unsure about where to go, feeling like you're pulled in different direction, maybe feeling like you want to do a lot of different things, or you have a lot on your plate, or you're just feeling a bit overwhelmed by where you want to go next. Especially evolution sometimes is scary, so when we feel like we're about to evolve, to level up, there's always this idea of like wanting to go back because where we were was comfortable. And so this Seven of Potions is almost there to see like, don't be afraid of change, don't be afraid of getting out of your comfort zone, don't be afraid to step out of there and to go where you have never been, because this, by going into the path, the unknown path, this is where the magic will happen for you, my pile number 2. Let's pull one more card. We have the High Priestess and the Moon. See, so really there's a strong time here to listen to your emotions, to listen to the messages from spirit, synchronicities, dreams, surprising messages. You know, there's this idea of really going within and heed the call of your soul, heed the waves of your soul, listen to what your gut is telling you, listen to your dreams, listen to your intuition, connect. Don't be afraid to connect to the more mysterious, mystic part of yourself. Don't be afraid to connect to, remember I was talking psychic kind of idea. I really sense that for a lot of you, you're going through some kind of a spiritual awakening, and for some of you it feels a little bit scary, but you need to trust the process. This is all meant to help you evolve into a better version of yourself, my pile number 2. Just the fact you're watching this is confirmation you're on the right path. Okay, let's pull some last oracle cards. And look, we have beware. Yeah, so beware of your anxiety, beware of your of you getting in your own way of your evolution, of you getting in your own way of your leveling up. Beware of those mental patterns that are trying to get you to stay where you are, because the ego is afraid of change. Pile number 2, our ego is always afraid of change, is afraid of the unknown, and it's actually a bit of a self-sabotage vibe here if you listen too much to the ego. So tell your brain to F off and really connect with your inner knowing, with your soul, with your intuition at this moment in time. And we have the Dreamer card right here. Beautiful encouragement of, again, listening to your dreams, connecting with that more mystical side of yourself, connecting to the universe, being open to receiving messages, being open to being a channel yourself. Gorgeous, gorgeous reading, my pile number 2. So this is what I'm getting for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, then please leave my video a thumbs up, as it's a nice exchange of energy, especially if the reading resonated with you, and it really helps my channel to grow. You can also leave me a comment. I love to hear from you, and if you're not yet subscribed, I invite you to do so, because you know I post regular pick a card readings, empowering guidance, channel messages, and all of that good stuff. And until my next video, as per usual, I am sending you lots and lots of good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So if you chose pile number 3 or this particular dragon deck right here, then this is gonna be the message for you. We're gonna be pulling some oracle cards, some tarot cards on the go, getting some intuitive guidance, channel messages, all of that good stuff. And we're gonna be finding out what messages Spirit has for you at this time. What does the universe want you to know at this moment in time? What could help you to, whatever you need to hear at this moment in time, and this is timeless, to help you bust through any obstacles, help you free yourself, help you nourish yourself, help you heal, help you move forward, help you live your best life. This is gonna be, you know, the vibe of this reading. So let's find out what you need to hear for your own highest good, my pile number 3. We're using dragons, and I'm super excited. I'm loving this deck right now. Very powerful. So let's see. Okay, first off we have freedom, breaking the chains. Wow, beautiful. Let me bring that up because those cards are so gorgeous, they deserve to be seen. So we have freedom, breaking the chains. So there's already this idea of you need to release yourself from certain toxic situations, relationships, habits, or places or people in your life, my pile number 3. Potentially some habits that you know are not really doing any good, that are not supporting your growth, not supporting your evolution. There might be some people that you are starting to realize are not making you feel good, they're making you feel uncomfortable, they're making you feel guilty, they're making you feel less than. Some friends that maybe are not really your friends, some romantic partners that you're realizing don't actually respect you or value you the way that you deserve to be treated. All of that. There's this idea here of breaking chains, of releasing yourself from any kind of toxic, negative, heavy energy at this moment in time, my pile number 3. We also have the understanding card, looking at both sides. So even though you are releasing yourself, even though you are potentially cutting away some people, some relationships, or even just personal traits, don't be tempted to go all out and judge and start to point the finger and start to feel like you are better, wiser, more knowing, etc. than those people that you are facing, or those relationships you're facing, or that older version of yourself, because that would not be actually wise. Your evolution relies on the idea that you can still be compassionate, you can still be understanding, you can still be empathetic with others. So with this understanding and looking at both sides, there's this idea of forgiving, of being able to move forward, of being able to realize where you've been wrong, where they've been wrong, and realizing that there's no need to be right all the time. All you need to do is make sure that you're staying true to yourself, and that you're letting people go in a way that is compassionate, in a way that is authentic, and in a way that is with love always, right? So we don't want to be pointing fingers, we don't want to be judgmental, we don't want to be projecting our ish on other people's stuff as well. So there's this idea here of keeping balance. I'm getting strong balance energy. So some of you might be, your astro sign might be balance, or you might have a lot of Libra, sorry, so I was saying it in the French sign, I'm tired. Some of you, I'm getting this strong Libra vibe, so some of you might have the star sign Sun, Moon or Rising Libra, or you might have a lot of Libra in your chart. There's this energy coming through of being able to look at both sides of the scale, of being able to look at the yin and the yang, and I feel like you're very good at that, my pile number 3, knowing that there's always light in shadow and shadow in light, this kind of yin-yang energy. Okay, let's see what else is coming through from my pile number 3. What do you need to know? What do you need to hear at this moment in time? We have bliss, cherishing the day. Beautiful card. And we also have healing, restoring hope. So this is a time for inviting lighter energy into your life, my pile number 3. It's a time for celebrating how far you've come, all the successes, all your efforts are paying off, all the hard work that you've made, potentially around letting go of people that are not necessarily good for you, letting go of habits, letting go of older versions of yourself. I'm sensing this idea of what I see in my mind's eye is a snake shedding the skin, so that there's a new skin forming. And so for you, my pile number 3, through that you're realizing that there's a lot of joy to be had, and that it's a time for celebration, for celebrating your successes, celebrating your efforts, celebrating your beauty, celebrating your power. And it's a huge time of transformation and healing. We have the healing card here, beautiful card. Potentially one of the most beautiful cards in the deck, in my opinion. So gorgeous, and it talks about restoring hope. So don't lose faith if things have not happened in your own timing yet. If you feel like you're doing all this work and you're doing all this personal development, and you're trying to look at everyone from a loving perspective, and you're trying to move in the world in a way where you're shining your light, and you're speaking your truth, and you're being your true self, and you're honoring others, and you're honoring your boundaries, etc., and yet you feel like your manifestations are blocked, or you're not quite getting what you deserve, don't lose faith, don't lose hope. It will happen in divine timing. Here we're talking about the reason why things have not potentially yet happened for you is because they were preparing you for something even better than what you thought you deserved. So maybe you were setting your eyes on something, and the universe was like, yeah, that's good, but actually we have something even better in mind for you, but we need to make sure that you're ready for it. And so first, you need to heal, you need to take care of yourself, you need to release any kind of baggage that is drowning you down. Imagine you're getting ready to go on this new trip. You want to make sure that before you go, you have space in your camera, right? That Let's say you want to take pictures on this trip, you want to make memories, so most of you will want to take pictures, I assume. You can't go on a trip if your camera is already full of past images, because you won't be able to take any new images. And so this is kind of like the vibe I'm getting. The universe is like, we're ready to take you on this new metaphorical trip, metaphorical journey, metaphorical travel, but you need to make space on your SD card, on your memory card, otherwise you won't be able to fully enjoy the trip. You won't be able to make to kind of keep those new memories. So let go of anything that is you know, do some cleansing, let go of anything that is no longer meant to be with you, no longer resonating with you, so that you can invite this new healing energy, and that you can invite this new fresh vibe, this new fresh journey, and you're getting ready for what the universe has in plan for you next, which is going to be beautiful. My pile number 3. So let's pull some tarot cards. Today I'm using the Nightmare Before Christmas because I was feeling the fantasy. I still wanted to escape. I just woke up today, I was like, I want to escape from day-to-day life. Don't we all? I feel like lately especially there's a lot of heavy energy. We just want to escape, right? We just want to go to a world where there's like dragons and mermaids and fairies and all of that. Or maybe it's just me. Let me know in the comments if that sounds good to you as well. So feeling the fantasy. We have the Queen of Needles and the Two of Candles. So definitely it's time for expansion. It's time to go outside your comfort zone and expand and go on a new path, go on this new journey. You're being prepared for what's next. You're being prepared for your next chapter, and sometimes we don't see where we're going until we're there. And so that's why some of you still feel like you're in a bit of the fog and you don't really know where you're going, and you feel a little bit like things are not happening fast enough, or just not happening at all. Again, what I'm getting strongly is the message here from my pile number 3 is the universe is preparing you for what's next. So you know, they're making sure that you're ready whenever it will happen, so that you can make the most of it. Queen of Needles, equivalent of Queen of Swords. Use your mind, use your intellect, use your logic to decipher who and what needs to stay and needs to go in your life right now. Not everyone who was in your life before is supposed to stay with you now. Not everything that was in your life before is supposed to stay with you now. And you can reinvent yourself at any point in your life. Every second, every day, every hour, you can decide to be a new version of yourself. You can decide to evolve. You can decide to change for the better. And this Queen of Swords here is letting you know that you need to use logic, you need to use your intellect, your mind, to kind of look sometimes at a situation from a less emotional point of view and a more rational point of view, so that you can remember that there's two sides to every coin, that there's two versions of every story. And again, not to judge people. Just because you decide to move away from something, a relationship or a situation or a job or whatever, doesn't mean that we're judging the people who stay, or judging the people who wronged us, or judging, you know, this is a judgment-free kind of vibe I'm getting, where you are realizing that you can move on, you can do your thing and still wish people happiness, you can still wish people joy, you can still wish people to be at least at peace, even if they've treated you wrong, even if they've wronged you or in any shape or form. There's this idea of I will not lower myself to their level, and I can still look at everything from a clear-minded point of view. I will not let my emotions get the better of me in that sense, and I will remember again that there's two sides to every coin, two different parts to a story, and that's what's coming through for those two cards. My pile number 3. Let's see what else we get from... We have strengths, so beautiful vibe here of remembering you have a lot of inner strength within you, you have a lot of inner power to accomplish everything you set your mind to, that you can move mountains. And the strength card talks about knowing yourself so deeply that you know your boundaries as well, and saying that it's okay to say no. You don't have to say yes to everything. Being strong sometimes is also strong enough to say no, being strong enough to put boundaries, being strong enough to respect yourself, being strong enough to know when you've reached your limits. That's what's coming through for this strength card. And finally, we have the King of Needles. See, we have the King of Needles and the Queen of Needles. So there's definitely this idea here of controlling your mind, using clarity, using logic, using intellect to look at things from a more distant perspective, maybe looking at the big picture, maybe this idea of not getting caught up in the detail, but actually looking at it from a bird's eye point of view. That's an advice that's coming through from my pile number 3 as well. Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna be pulling some tarot oracle cards. See what is last message from your guides. Awaken. Beautiful. See, again, this idea of like, there's this new path, this new stage that is being prepared. At the moment in time, you still feel like you're in the woods. You still feel like you can't get your way out. You still feel a little bit lost. You can't quite find the path that will take you out to the clearing. But the path is not far, and you're just getting prepared to emerge to this light, to this, you know, sunnier, more bright time in your life. So trust the process is what I'm hearing. Trust the process, don't lose hope. And we have the dreamer card jumping through, so don't be afraid to listen to your dreams, but also don't be afraid to dream big. And again, if you feel like things are not happening, remember that actually the universe is planning for even better, brighter, more nourishing, more healing, more fulfilling things for you. All you need to do is make sure that you're co-creating with the universe, that you are speaking from a place of love, that you're respecting others, that you're not judging them, that you are removing anything that is no longer resonating with you, that you're not trying to shrink yourself to fit in places that are no longer meant to fit you. Keep faith, keep hope, and with this cherishing the day here, I'm getting this strong idea of like remembering to find the little joy in everyday life, in everything you do. There's always some little joy, some little bliss to be found. Celebrating that as well, as it will really help to take you to this new phase, this new path, and help the universe push you toward your new journey. My pile number 3. Beautiful. So if this message resonated with you, then don't hesitate to give my video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow, and it's a nice exchange of energy. You can also leave me a comment. I love to hear from you. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so. I have plenty of pick a card readings. I post regular empowering guidance and channel messages, tarot and oracle related videos, and all of that good stuff. So you know, make sure you subscribe because I upload every single week as well. And finally, as per usual, I am sending you lots and lots of good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!